Transforming formulas. This is really just manipulating equations to solve for different parts of them, which will be useful. I wanted to do it while we were still talking about algebra. Before we start moving things around, though, there's one thing I just want to remember. So let's put recall here. So if I gave you a problem like this, 8 plus 10 all over 2. Normally we would solve that, we would add the top 8 plus 10 is 18 divided by 2, we would get 9. I just want you to notice, if I gave you this problem and you wanted to divide by the 2 right away, you could, but it would have to go to each thing. It's almost like you would have to split it up like this. So then we would get, what's that? That's 4 plus 5, that's 9. Mathematically, that works out. But if you were just going to divide one of these numbers by 2, it wouldn't work. So either you have to solve the top and then divide, or I call this kind of, divide and conquer. So you split them up and do the division. Or think to yourself, the 2 has to go into both of them. All right, so let's try something here. So if I gave you something with variables, like 8x plus 10 over 2, okay, similar. Now in this one, we can't put together the 8x and the 10. So we have to do the divide and conquer thing. So the 8x divided by 2 is 4x. 10 divided by 2 is 5. That's all you would be able to do. Okay? And now, just to confuse you further, if they weren't separated by addition or subtraction, so something like 8xyz over 2. Now that's just one big term divided by 2. So that one would just work out like that. Okay, so hopefully you get the idea. Let me show you what I mean about these transforming formulas. So here's the formulas. And they're going to ask you to solve for a certain letter. So for example, area equals length times width, right? If they say solve for L, that means they want you to get L by itself. So it's almost like you have to pretend everything else are numbers and kind of manipulate them so that L is by itself. So this is L times W. To get rid of the times W, right, if this was a solve and check, you would divide by the W. Now those can cancel off. You get L. Over here, we don't know what these stand for, so we're just going to rewrite it. This is your answer. So if the area equals the length times the width, then the length, excuse me, is the area divided by the width, which you probably could do in your head, but here's mathematically how you show that you're solving for that variable. Okay? All right, let's try another one here. Let's say, I don't know, P equals 5 minus C. Oh, that's an S. S minus C. Solve for S. Let's rewrite it. That looks terrible. S minus C. Okay. Solve for S. So how would you get S by itself here? Well, it has minus C next to it. So to do the opposite, we add C, add C. So I guess S is equal to P plus C, and you would be done. So you're just getting the one thing they ask for by itself. That's it. All right, let's just practice a couple more here. How about H equals K over D. Solve for K. So my eyes go right to the K. I always look at what I'm trying to solve for, and then I ask myself, what's happening to the K? It's getting divided by D. I have to do the opposite to solve it. So I'm going to multiply by D. So K is D times H, or H times D, whatever you want to say. That's it. Okay. Let's try another one. How about I equals PRT, solve for P. So now P is multiplied by R and T. You could do it separate, or let's just all together divide by R and T. Right? So I guess it's I divided by R times T. All right, let's try one a little harder here. How about perimeter equals 2 lengths plus 2 widths? And let's solve for the length. Okay, this will take a few more steps, right? We got to chip away here. So first, kind of like solving check, take care of this first. So let's subtract the 2W. So we got P minus 2W equals 2L. And then I guess to get L by itself here, you would want to divide by 2. Now here's what we were talking about in the beginning. Try to get it as simple as possible. So I could divide the 2 here, but I'm also going to have to do it here. So I guess I'd have to say this is P over 2, right? Because I can't really divide that, minus these 2's will cancel out, W. Okay. One more that might be kind of tough. Let's do one more. 6. Let's do y equals x over 3 plus 8. Solve for x. Okay, so look at the x. It's got a divided by 3, it's got an adding of 8. You have to undo both of those things. So I'm going to take away the 8 first. So I have y minus 8 equals x over 3. And now I need to multiply by 3. This is where using the parentheses comes in handy, because yeah, I have to multiply this whole side by 3. So I really need to distribute that 3. So it's 3y minus 24. That's my answer. All right? Okay. Good job, guys.